scheme, we can de-risk. How are you? Hi. Stakeholders. Okay. Habari zenu? Salama kabisa. How are you, my man? Salama kabisa. Wanafanya kazi ya welding
ambao tuna supply mlango taifa supply mkuru kwa jenga ambao tunaweka mlango karibu 100 for one floor which is about 4 million. Pia naye sisi ndio tulifanya outlet ya Sacro.
Hello, how are you guys?
Good. Doing leather. So my name is Sir. Through the training and small enterprise authority, I was equipped with the skills to start a business where I equip I've been trained through 2024. Yes, so by 2025, it found that we were already knowledgeable. I have recruited youths in Mukuru slum, and we give them the skills for free so that we can empower them and impact their lives through an income generating activity. Yes, it is pure leather balls. Yes. Out of Mukuru kwa Njenga. Yes. Yeah.
I'm Paul. I'm Paul. We are working as Land Mawe.
What is the size of your group?
We are about 12 people.
12 people.
Yeah, but when we were starting, we were 2 people.
2 people.
Yeah, but as we grow, we are now 12. We are hoping to grow more than that.
Okay.
Yeah, come next year.
So how do you access money to invest in your products?
As now the SMEs have we have access loans from SMEs. And other sources of fund.
Yes.
Then friends, we have other sources from friends. Tuna borrow from friends. Leather we're getting from Sagana, from Alfarama. Yeah, that's why we get leather product. After sourcing leather product, we come and draw the bag. We make the leather bags. We're looking for markets like we have come here. We'll look for markets. Yeah, okay. Even you can.
What did you want me to do to support your business?
That's good question. Yes. First of all, we are looking for funds.
Yes.
If you can get access to more funds. As I said, when we were starting, we were only 2 people. But with time, we're now 12 people. When we get more funds, we'll employ more people.
So
Credit.
So
more credit. Yeah, we get source of leather. We buy more material.
If money is extended to you, are you able to pay back? Is your business able to pay back?
Yeah, that's possible.
It's possible.
Yeah, very possible.
Have you tried?
Yeah, we have tried from other access of funds from this small enterprise. So we borrow some money, then we get leather product, then we get.
Your capital like? How much money?
It's around 100 to 150,000 there. Yeah.
Are you aware that you can get a bridge loan from Asla Fund for 150,000? Are you aware?
Yes, I'm aware. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm Davis Bahati,
yes,
and this is edible oil fabricators machines from Kariobangi. Once you started the project,
you fabricate?
Yes, we fabricate this machine.
Okay.
Yeah, we
good quality.
Yes, thank you, sir. We are 35 in the group of association edible oil fabricators.
Yes.
Once Madam has made these opportunities for us, we decided let us prove like in Kenya it's possible, because we want to lower the cost of oil.
Yes.
We are targeting youths and people with disabilities and women. That is pressing. It can do the macadamia, it can do the sunflower, it can do the canola.
Electric or?
It is electric and it's a single phase. and it weighs.
Can you single?
Yeah, it's a single phase. At the same time, it can do the cold and the dry, and the capacity it can do. Those are 750 kgs. That is 700 per day. We can do 1 ton, which to 1 ton is equivalent to 250 liters of oil. That this one, it has got the capacity if we can do in a portion way, because we are targeting people in rural areas so that we can reduce the immigration of youths from the.
Your business model is to make the.
Yes, we fabricate these machines. Yes, we fabricate these machines at Kariobangi, whereby we have been also supported by the KIE.
In Kariobangi, you have a common user facility.
Yes, we have the common use of the facilities.
Come with your design.
Yes, we come up with this kind of the design,
And you come with your raw materials.
yes, sir.
Then you use the common user facility to.
Yes. Because of the advancing of the technology, and since we have just empowered us, we decided to come up with the CNC machines, and we have another machines which is carving these ones. And since we are using the oil, we decided to use the stainless. Yes, sir.
Because so that for food products.
Yes, sir. Now we're requesting for your support kindly, so that if maybe you can just empower us, because in that group we have many youths. Those are 39 groups, but we are targeting each county to come up with such ideas so that we create job opportunities in those counties.
My PS. Yes. What do we do? What are you thinking about this Bahati man? He says, how do we? What is the plan?
So the plan here, we want to support them for one to produce many of these ones, so that then we organize groups there in regions which are doing edible.
Yes.
Then you can supply them.
Yes.
In fact, Your Excellency,
Where are they going to? I think they will need some money
Yeah.
to make sure that they can produce more.
we have Kenya Industrial Estate. We've told them to offtake,
Yes.
to offtake from them.
Yes.
So we can even train them. The MSEA, in the MSEAs where we do their workshop, and then KIE is going to take all this. So you produce, you give to KIE, and from there,
Where are the KIE people?
KIE over here.
Now we have Bahati here, who is has a group that is producing this for our edible oil sector. And his challenge, you told me, Bahati, is two.
Yes.
You need more money to be able to do more.
Yes.
And number two, to get a market.
Yes, because we want to empower youths in rural areas so that we can reduce immigration from rural to urban
Are you able
areas.
to work with him so that you can support him with the resources from KIE to scale up?
Yes, Your Excellency.
Yes.
We can support him in what we do. And even in making this
Bahati, are you aware of KIE? Have
Yes,
you
I'm
heard?
aware, sir.
So you think you can build a relationship?
Yes, I will, and I appreciate, because this is the first time to see you. I could request to promote me.
Yes.
This appointment
Yes.
this was advanced engineering concept.
Correct.
Wale wa kule nje, we came to Kariobangi, we trained on how to make this.
Yes.
Now it's made in Kariobangi, then the are being made across the country.
Correct.
So that they can buy this at 60% of the import price that we are importing. Then those who are producing this in the assurances who are registered, inatolewa sasa watu wajua across the country. Then KIA is the one that is financing it. Besides providing the Kariobangi Center of Excellence for common manufacturing with everything there, the technology, we have worked even with your advisor on this issue of edible oils.
Yes.
So this is now an idea that is going across the country. They had a challenge of market.
Yes.
But now through registering other associations across the country, farmers who are producing oil,
Yes.
they need to crush this at the bottom level.
Yes.
And this is what the machine is doing.
Actually, Your Excellency,
So
we
please,
imported
Bahati,
tools.
you have peers here, you have the KIE, they will connect you, and already, my advisory team worked with them because we wanted to look at edible oil.
Yes, sir.
because we import a lot of edible oil.
Yes, sir.
We're spending almost 100 billion, and we want to substitute imported edible oil with locally manufactured, whether we do sunflower, whether we do macadamia, somebody has said, and sesame and all the others. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So, and soya and all. So, but now this, what you are developing, this technology is going to help us to cascade, to smaller units.
Yes, sir.
So that even a farmer with an acre or half an acre or can find a place where they can press and use the oil?
Thank you, sir. It is easy and it does several jobs. Like somebody who is, I was looking like somebody who is in Mombasa can do the coconut oil.
Correct.
Somebody can do
Using the same machine.
yes, the same machine. Yeah.
Okay, Bahati.
Thank you, and you can support me. God bless you, God. Thank you.
This is, we talked about scaling. My name is Anthony,
Yes.
founder of Cowland.
Yes.
We get milk from farmers
Yes.
in Nyandarua.
Yes.
And now with the support of KIE, we have now been able to scale up.
Yes.
We're now doing value addition. So we are supporting government by ensuring that farmers are paid the 50 shillings. We are now doing value addition. And with additional support from KIE, we are confident we'll be able to build scale, provide more employment.
Have you discussed with KIE?
Yeah.
Have you given them a business plan?
They have supported us.
They've given you some money.
Yes.
Like how much money?
10 million.
They've given you 10 million.
Yes.
already.
Yes.
Okay.
And now we're looking at scaling up.
Okay.
But
Where is your operation?
we're currently doing contract manufacturing in Kiambu.
In Kiambu.
Now that means we don't have our own plant.
Yes.
So phase 2 will work with KIE
Yes.
for scaling up.
Yes.
But also when you do manufacturing, there are small challenges in terms of packaging.
Okay.
Cost your packaging sometimes is a bit expensive because of imported materials.
Yes.
So if there's a way we can be assisted there, we can then compete effectively in this market and create employment, because our business model is a bit different in terms of distribution.
I have some good news for you.
Yes, Your Excellency.
Yeah. Already, I signed into law yesterday. Yeah. The finance bill that is going to remove taxes on packaging material.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yes. So you will now have access to lower prices of packaging material, and hopefully it will increase your margin, make your business better, but also transfer some of that to the end user.
Definitely by reduced pricing.
Kidogo.
Definitely. Yeah, lazima.
So I think that is part of what we are
Thank you
doing,
very much, Your Excellency.
so that to make sure that, and not just for packaging material, for you, also for tea, also for coffee farmers, because as you know, we are still exporting a lot of our tea in sacks. We now want to put it in packets so that it goes direct to the supermarket and we can get more value. That is the conversation we've been having with the industry, and we have asked KIE to step in whenever it is necessary.
No, they have supported us.
Sawa.
Thank you, Excellency. All right.
Thank you very much.
All right. Have a good day.
Thank you. Have a good day. Yes, our friends at KIE, habari zenu?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, my name is Paulina Mukhotu. We are, the company is called Tokomelo Designs. We are an eco-friendly leather accessories brand, handcrafted by local artists and in collaboration with other entrepreneurs. A product like this one is done by almost 5 people. I do it at my workshop with 5 people, then I take it to Kariako to go and work on this part. You see, this is handcrafted, and this design was done by.
So you take it to Karioko.
Yes.
There is a common user facility to help you do this.
This one is handcrafted. This part is the one that is done at Kariako, the stitching. Yes. Especially when I have bulk order, that is when I take it to Kariako and they help me finish, because they have many machines. And I'm also the leader in the leather industry. I'm the organizing secretary of Leather Apex, and I'm also the CEO of Leather Articles Entrepreneurs Association. So the majority of times, the problems that we have as entrepreneurs is access to finance. Majority of us, we are women, and sometimes our husbands have problems giving us title deeds. So that is where the problem is. Because right now, I was sponsored by KIE when I started. I need another money, but the problem with the title deed, there's a problem. So, so that
gave you some money.
Yes, when I started, it 500. Yes, but now I need another, because Mr. President, the leather industry is intense. Can impact the leather industry.
Yes.
Will cover. Well, in the morning when I was coming here, I looked at the whole. This can feel the small, these young people, and we can impact the economy. That one, I think that is where we have to look.
Very good.
Yes.
So that you know.
Yes.
A whole plan under better.
Okay.
Leather.
Okay.
You have a whole plan of leather.
Yes.
And, I am sure somebody will explain to you what we are doing because we still export our labor raw, labor raw.
Semi-processed, yes.
To process it more.
Yes.
We're trying to improve the flaying.
Yes.
Leather is wasted when
During flaying, yes, that is
we are
true.
improving
Yes.
training more people in flaying.
Yes.
And we are beginning to consolidate. We provided money so that more leather industries, more leather manufacturers can consolidate.
Yes.
As you are aware, we are finishing up the leather park in Kenani.
Yes, in Kinani. Yes, I know.
Kenani.
I know. Yes.
Give you a bigger ecosystem.
Yes.
Of good quality leather.
Good. Thank you.
Then we are doing one more thing, so that we are not just in Karioko.
Yes.
We are spreading the common user facilities, not just in Karioko. We are building 47 in every county. A county aggregation and industrial
aggregation,
park,
yes,
where
yes.
we are now going to have common user facilities like the one that is
in Kariako.
Karioko.
Yes.
So that, somebody in Bungoma doesn't have to come all the way to Karioko.
To Kariako, yes.
Somebody in Mandera doesn't have to come all the way. We also provide an ecosystem of facilities and common user facilities and equipment.
And equipment,
in every
yes.
county aggregation,
Yes.
13 of them will be ready by September this
By
year.
September. Wow.
Right?
Wow. Yes.
In fact, it is in my statement. I want
Okay.
to tell these good people so that progressively we begin to improve infrastructure for
Infrastructure
people like
for-
you
yes.
to be able to do this.
Yes.
with more
Yes. If more people.
And then progressively we are going to import less of leather products and use more.
Which is the best? Yes. Of our own
skins.
hides and skins.
Right?
Yes.
And I have already instructed that all our security personnel, we are not buying boots from outside Kenya anymore.
Thank you so much.
All boots will be manufactured in Kenya
Yes.
from last year.
Yes.
So some people try to say, oh, the quality has a problem, but I told them, let us know the quality you want.
Yes.
We will get our
Yes.
manufacturers to produce it. And they are already doing it.
Actually, we are already doing it because if you are talking about the stitching part, we are perfect, and also the finishing we do it at Kariako. Seriously, that will impact the industry.
What do you want me to do better?
What we can do better? I'm thinking. You have done a lot, Mr. President, but I'm thinking, let us look at, you see, now I'm saying I need money. I can't access money. Can we start with that money that maybe I'm saying, let me start with about 500. Let me not have a title deed for 500. Let me start with 500 and I prove myself, and that money gradually grows until I am able to take 10 million. Where I can, yes, that is the main issue.
You want access to credit.
Yes, that does not come without collateral. Especially coming from government, it is better to pay government money than the others. Yes. The second one is access to market. If we can access market, yes, we get to our products.
Begin to limit imports so that we can create a bigger market for products that are manufactured locally.
Locally, yes. That would be the best. Really.
To make government agencies buy more from Kenyan manufacturers.
That would be the
importing what
because we don't know where our gifts are coming from. We will see what gifts coming from other countries. We are here. We can build the gifts. Card holders, something like this. And I wish you can live with one. Something like this. A bag like this. Yes. Okay. Thank you so much. Yes, we are able to make the gifts. Looking around here, you can see that our SMEs are able to do better work. Yes. Thank you so much. I appreciate.
Yes.
So you can give her the mic.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
We're supported by KICC.
Okay.
We've
So you have heard what she's looking for. Eh? She's looking for a mechanism where we can work with a different collateral mechanism. Rather than credit.
He has come.
It is already here.
I think 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
He's already there.
Yes. So people like Paulina, people like Paulina, we should be able, now that we have a credit guarantee scheme, we can de-risk people like her. And instead of her looking for a title deed, Either she can go the route of Hustler Fund. You can now get up to 150,000 without any security on Hustler Fund. Or you come to KIE and we can use the credit guarantee mechanism to for you to access the money of the and you need to work with so that you know how the credit guarantee mechanism works, so that you can become part of it. Okay.
And also,
it will replace the requirement of a title.
Yes. Also consider the LPO. If I come to you now,
LPO financing.
Yes, but it's through that credit scheme.
Yeah, or it is under the credit scheme. Okay.
Waziri here is already working on it with the ministry.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes.
We are Caprin Foods. We do manufacturing of goat yogurt. We also supply goat milk. We are located in Kamakis bypass.
You are located in Kamakis?
Yes, bypass. With the help of KME, we've gotten loan of the last time we got 2 million, which 2 million. Really helped us to create more employment because we increased our employment. We now have 56 people. Initially, we had only 12. We have people at the farm. Yes, we've expanded.
What did the 2 million allow you? What did it? How did you expand?
More equipment, so productivity went up, more market demand, more people in the field to help us create marketing awareness. That more orders came in, so we had to install a bigger plant to create more here. So it has really helped us so far.
Uptaking more milk.
Yes. Yes.
But your profession is to do yogurt.
Yes, we've got milk as a whole. We have the fresh goat milk and also the yogurt for the people who prefer yogurt. Okay. Yes.
How is the market like?
A bit. For now, we have advantage of we are not so flooded compared to cow dairy yogurt, but there are a few challenges of accessing the milk. You know, the amount of milk you get on one goat is not the same amount of milk you get on a cow goat. But we also outsource from farmers who also have goats. So we've also helped farmers somehow. Yes. To have outsourced where they can take their milk if they have excess. Yes.
Very good. Sir? Okay.
So she's selling through the supermarket. This shows the quality.
Very good.
It's quality.
Very good. How long does this stay on? Can this stay on?
Shelf life is 45 days.
45 days. Yes.
Yes, Mr. President.
Yes.
I can just show you our stand here. There is something in the construction sector. Yes. So welcome to the TimberTech stand.
Yes.
We are located in Kiambu Town. Yes. We are located in Kiambu Town.
Yes.
And we deal with timber related products. So we have a plant that manufactures each of these products that you see here. So we have clients from all over the country who buy from us. And
this is largely
for construction, in the construction sector. Yes. So the interior part of the houses. We've been supported by KIE, and it has really helped us to scale up to where we are at the moment.
Okay.
We would really be glad to even benefit a lot more from KIE with more funds, since it's one of the challenges that we have. Just to be able to do this.
How is it different to get money from KIE than from the bank? What is the difference? Is there any difference?
Of course, even accessing the money from KIE can compare it to the banks. The banks are a lot higher in terms of
the rates.
Yes, the rates are a lot higher, more expensive.
Yes.
But with KIE, it's a lot more affordable, and it also because they also have an understanding of the MSMEs.
Yes.
So it becomes easier to really talk to them and have them understand. Yes.
What is the interest?
You're lending them at how much?
10%.
Yes. Yes.
If you was to go to the bank,
Probably it could be higher, could be 16 there, 17, 18 there. Depends with the bank.
it require a lot more. The requirements are a bit stringent.
A lot stringent, a lot. Okay. Yes, and also sometimes it can be, you're likely not to even get it.
After going round?
After going around for some time, yeah.
He's employing 50 people.
Yes.
You are employing 50 people?
Yes, 50 people.
The quality is very good.
Yes.
Yeah, here we give them loans which are not collateralized. And here we support them with Weather Fund without interest, and they start as a group, and we assist them now to understand issues of business so that they become MSMEs. So we have a Baraka Women Group here. They do some products for leather for women, and they sell locally, and they intend to also export. At the moment, we have supported it 7,000 groups. Yeah, from inception. Okay. Yes.
How many are currently active?
We have over 60 which are active. Yes, and
you blend them and
yes, and and we have.
Your rate of interest?
We don't charge interest. There is no interest. Yeah. So actually, it's to help now the starters who are unable even to get any. They don't even have bank statements. They have never even accessed any financial. They usually meet doing some table banking like the chamas. When they meet in their local setup, that is the only evidence we need, as long as they form themselves into a group. So we use social as a collateral. They are coming together, the social capital. Yes. That is what we base on. Yeah. Thank you.
I wanted him to say something about labor mobility support.
Yes. Yeah, we have also assisted the youth who are unable also to raise the fund for visas and tickets. They are coming together as. Yes.
Whenever we have young people who have gotten a job,
yes,
and they don't have money for a ticket or something, support them and pay you.
Yes. Yeah. So
have you started that?
Yeah, we have already started. We have supported 221 youths.
So 221.
Yes. Yeah. Already we have financed them.
Different counties,
in different constituencies. Yes. So we intend to roll out now across the country, whereby now we'll have an engagement with the Ministry of Labor. They'll assist us in identifying across the country.
Have you done a collaboration with the Ministry of Labor?
Yes, we Labor and Foreign Affairs and Diaspora. We are working together, so then we identify and then we work together and we support.
Yes.
We have money.
Yeah.
So we have about 170 million.
Yeah.
Because we had about 200 million to support. We had targeted in the pilot phase, which we can easily disperse from here. And then before going to the constituents account. But they need to give us people.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Okay.
Very blessed. Yes, thank you very much. Shona nguo.
Tunashona nguo.
Yes.
Yes.
Local
manufacturer, yes.
Mnafanyia hii kazi wapi?
We do it at Isiri.
Isili.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Gilgal designers.
Yes.
Ndio nyinyi.
Ndio sisi. Yes.
Ni mzuri kabisa.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is very good design.
Yes, for gypsum.
For gypsum.
Gypsum.
Manufacturing this where?
Yes, we manufacture from Ruto, and we get the distribution. We distribute across the country, and we're looking forward to even being able to export. Yes. So this is elite finishes, and what our waste product is recycled by KVL wood. So to produce this, so we collaborate. Yes, we collaborate. So as enterprises, that is one of our strengths. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Umeongea na watu yangu ya affordable housing wakupange? Ndio unatafuta network.
Ndio tunatafuta network ya kukuja hapa kwa sababu mnatusaidia kutupatia pesa na sisi mtusaidie kumarket hizi vitu.
Very good.
And tutatoa vijana wengi huko kwa barabara, acha kukusumbua.
Unatengeneza hii wapi?
Natengenezea Kiambu Road.
Kiambu Road.
Yes.
Okay.
Lakini tunazileta Gikomba. Tuna supply. So watu wengi sasa wanakuja Gikomba.
Nitamwambia Hinga
Yes.
tufanye connection kwa sababu hii hinges hii door handles.
Yes.
Tushakubaliana how we standardize.
Yes.
Ndio muweze kumanufacture in mass.
Yes.
And then we can support the affordable housing program, but also support your business.
Thank you so much.
Sawa sawa.
Yeah, we don't need to import from China.
No, we don't have to.
Yes. Thank you so much.
You are manufacturing panels.
Panels and everything to do with ESS.
Yes.
Yeah, and energy storage systems. Yeah. Energy storage systems.
Energy storage systems.
Yeah.
Okay. So where are you manufacturing it?
We manufacture in China, but we have our office in Kenya. Yeah.
Okay. So it's largely panels, storage.
Storage. We do critical power. We do telecommunication systems, and then storage systems for industrial. So we can also do mini grids and yeah.
Have you begun to think about how some of these can be assembled locally and then progressively?
Yeah, progressively we can do that. Yeah, progressively. Yeah.
We have electric bike for future Kenya and also electricity. Actually, so this is a Chinese company, but we base here in Kenya.
So apart from electric mobility, what else?
Yeah, everything is full electric. Yeah. Around 130, 1,300. Yeah, 1.3. Yeah. No, 100. 130. Yeah. Okay.
Is yes, power supply using machines in panels, electricals. So we are manufacturing in India. My company name is Multispan Control Instrument Private Limited. We are working with 4 decades in India from 1986. So I wanted to a good business in Kenya, and I support in Kenya also. Yeah.
President and Commander-in-Chief of the Kenya Defence Forces, Honorable Wycliffe Oparanya, the CS for the Ministry of Cooperative and Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, MSMEs, Principal Secretaries present, led by PS Susan Mangeni, PS State Department of MSME, representatives from the United Nations, representatives from the International Labour Organization, ILO, bankers, partners, MSME stakeholders, the Hustler Nation present, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, this morning, we gather to celebrate the United Nations International MSME, celebrated under the theme, Enhancing the Role of MSME as Drivers of Sustainable Growth and Innovation. The 2025 celebration marks the 9th year of celebration since the official launch of the MSMEs Day in the United Nations General Assembly on the 27th of June 2017, following a resolution by the United Nations General Assembly 2017 designating the MSME Day to recognize the crucial role the micro, small and medium-sized enterprises in achieving sustainable development goals. And allow me at this point, Your Excellency, to invite Tito Arunga, who is representing the United Nations, just to make some few opening remarks. Tumpigie makofi tafadhali akija to make some brief remarks. Welcome.
Your Excellency, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Kenya Defence Forces, CS Wycliffe Oparanya, kindly allow me to ride on all the protocols already established. The MSME Day 2025 comes at a pivotal moment for development globally. It takes place just ahead of two key international milestones: the 4th International Conference on Financing for Development in Seville and the 2nd World Summit for Social Development in Doha. These key events will financing, equity, and inclusion in an increasingly volatile world. It is in this context that today's commemoration offers an opportunity to reaffirm the essential role of micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises in shaping inclusive, resilient, and sustainable economies. This year's theme, leveraging the power and resilience of MSMEs to accelerate sustainable development, captures this ambition. It acknowledges that MSMEs are not only engines of economic activity, but also catalysts for innovation, poverty reduction, and dignified livelihoods. And it calls on all of us as governments, development actors, financial institutions, and large business to create the enabling conditions that allow MSMEs to thrive. Across Kenya and the wider continent, MSMEs are foundational to local economies. They offer entry points for young people, women, and informal workers. Their size and agility allow them to adapt quickly to change and serve underserved populations, often where no formal systems reach. We recognize the challenges they face, especially with the issues around climate shocks, input costs, and some of the incidences. And let me say at this moment, Your Excellency, we see some of the incidents like what we've observed in the country in the last 2 days, where small businesses remain at risk of being left behind. Our hearts really goes out to those business owners and employees who are affected by these situations. Ladies and gentlemen, here in Kenya, the United Nations recognizes that supporting MSMEs is key to unlocking broader progress. Just allow me to share some of our collective results. Through our collective efforts, nearly 5 million people have benefited from skills development and lifelong learning initiative. This includes young entrepreneurs, informal workers, and marginalized groups. In addition, I would like to state that more than 3,500 refugees have also been trained in trades such as welding and mechanics, and opening new enterprises. And we also really support and we really acknowledge what the Kenya government has done in supporting MSMEs, and we recognize and have been there to support the prior learning policy, which I think is a very powerful tool, which has allowed over 1,200 informal workers to have their skills certified. This not only opened doors to higher value opportunities, but helps to close formal recognition within these enterprises. So the UN is collaborating with Kenya and our partners, governments such as the Swedish, Canadian, the Rockefeller Foundations, the MasterCard Foundation, in seeing how to create more opportunities and ensuring that no one is left behind. To conclude, allow me to close and leave you with three reflections. First, why does Africa continue to record some of the highest returns on investment globally? Yet our entrepreneurs face some of the highest costs of capital and most risk-averse lending environments. Secondly, how do we harness Africa's digital momentum to support small businesses in rural and informal economies, not just through apps, but through equity in access and digital literacy? And thirdly, how do we build smarter, more coordinated partnerships that maximize every shilling invested in MSMEs, and those at the bottom of the economic pyramid? I would like to say with these three questions, and I really, Your Excellency, for the first time I had the opportunity of standing next to you and seeing how you engage businesses, how you engage the partners in government, and see how do we connect the dots and make things happen for MSMEs. I want to congratulate you for this. It was an excellent observation. I will go back and share and say that, you know, these practical steps are the steps that are going to bring change for our country. I thank you so much, and asanteni sana. Thank you very much. And Your Excellency, I bring you the warmest greetings of Dr. Stephen Jackson, our resident coordinator, along with the heads of agencies, including the head of FAO, Madam Tipo, who were not able to make it, but they send their warmest regards to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Bwana Tito. Your Excellency, we also have the International Labour Organization represented. And allow me at this point to now call on Caroline Njuki, the Chief Technical Advisor, to also make some brief remarks. Tumpigie makofi akija. Welcome.
Your Excellency, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, CS, MSME and Cooperatives, Wycliffe Oparanya, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to ride on protocols already established. The International Labour Organization is the UN agency for the world of work. In his message on World MSME Day, the Director General of the ILO highlights the critical role of MSMEs as engines of economic growth, innovation, catalysts of social justice, and decent work. And Your Excellency, you have just experienced some of the great innovations that the MSMEs are exhibiting today. Globally, MSMEs generate employment for 2.3 billion people, particularly for women, youth, and marginalized communities often excluded from formal economic structures. In Kenya, this number is up of 90%. You would all agree that's quite substantive. MSMEs are crucial in advancing inclusive growth, productive employment, and decent work. In fact, we cannot speak about employment creation in any country around the world without the critical role of the MSMEs. Addressing barriers that hinder MSMEs from playing an even more impactful role is at the heart of the ILO's mandate and work in Kenya. And some of these, of course, have already been mentioned: access to affordable finance, the digital divide, shortage of skilled human capital, and poor working conditions due to the high levels of informality. SMEs, as my colleague from the UN just spoke, are also more vulnerable in times of crisis like what was experienced this week. What, therefore, are we doing to support MSME growth in Kenya, Your Excellency? One is supporting the governance frameworks for the SME sector, including the MSME policy that is now going through public participation, the State Department strategic plan, which will be launched later today. And we are also supporting cooperatives, because cooperatives and MSMEs are interlinked, as evidenced by the mandate of the ministry that you have set up. The ILO has supported the Kenya Cooperative Sector Transformation Strategy, which has shaped the State Department strategy and the review of the bill and regulations. Two, we are working on business development. Contrary to popular belief, not everyone can run a business. We need the tools to be able to do that and do it successfully so that there is scale and subsequently employment creation. The ILO has the world's most widely used entrepreneurship training model in the world. It is called the Start and Improve Your Business. This tool meets entrepreneurs where they are, at the point of thinking of a business idea or at the point of growth. We've rolled out a network of trainers with key business support institutions, including the Chamber of Commerce, the Women Enterprise Fund, etc. And so that these trainers support existing funding frameworks, whether it's the Hustler Fund, etc. And these we also accompany with financial literacy, so that when people get their Hustler Fund, when they fully at whatever time, that this is actually going towards not just consumerism, but also growth of business. We are also supporting transitions from informality to formality, working closely with the Juakali Federation, the Chambers of Commerce, at the county level. We are providing capacity building on the how, because we talk about formalization, but as a small business with one person, two people, what are the concrete steps that I take to formalize? So we are making it easier to understand and sort of handhold businesses on their formalization journey. Ultimately, formalization of businesses opens up doors to accessing finance, increased productivity, access to markets, and more, but also very importantly, decent jobs. In collaboration with the TVET ecosystem in Kenya, we are supporting responsive skills development so that MSMEs have the talent they need. If we are pressing oil, do we actually know how to press it? And do we have substantial talent to develop that? Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, the ILO commits to sustain its technical and financial support to Kenya's MSME sector towards more and decent jobs. Happy World MSME Day, and asanteni sana.
Thank you very much, Ms. Njuki. Your Excellency, we'll now transition to the panel discussion. But before that, Your Excellency, sir, Embu University have a song that they wrote specifically for MSMEs, known as Biashara Ndogo. So at this point, I'll ask that the choir stand up and present the song. The song is Biashara Ndogo. And Your Excellency, this is of course in cognizance with how intentional you are with the creative economy. And therefore, we thought it would be prudent to give them a chance and an opportunity to present their song. So Embu University Choir, Biashara Ndogo.
Kujenga msingi
Asante sana Embu University Choir. At this point, Your Excellency, allow me to invite PS Susan Mangeni, who will then introduce her panel and transition to the panel discussion. We can welcome her with a clap. Karibu, Madam PS.
Thank you, Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, my Waziri, FCPA, Dr. Wycliffe Ambecha Oparanya, the UN representative of the UN resident coordinator, representative of ILO, my strategic partner in the State Department, Kenya Association of Manufacturers, who are our takers, Kenya Bankers Association, Jua Kali na mahasla, mjambo. Your Excellency, allow me just to recognize my colleagues whom I work with closely. They support me in this ecosystem. All PSs who are here with us, kindly stand up so that I can get to recognize you. So we have PS Hinga. He's my biggest market in the affordable housing. Makofi kwake. Thank you, PS Charles. Then we have PS Ololotwa. Huyo ni tourist attraction mkubwa. We have PS for Trade, Dr. Regina, and she will be today sharing with us on how to access these huge markets across the country, across the world. Okay, I think we hit several others. So, Your Excellency, and all protocols observed, we are humbled. Biashara ndogo, vile tumeambiwa na choir ya kutoka Embu University. We met this choir about 3 weeks ago during the MSME Connect initiative that the ministry, the able leadership of my waziri here, has initiated, bringing the public sector together with the public and private sector so that we can have the dialogue that you encouraged us sometime last year around this time, that we need to activate dialogues across all the sectors of the economy, and we took up that challenge. And so I am here because I'm happy, because this is the first time ever in the history of this country that we are having such a high level celebration of this day that was founded about 9 years ago. We feel so much humbled, we feel privileged. Ama ni aje mahaslas? Sindo hivyo? Simumekaa na rais? Simumefurahi? Kuna vile anatufeel, sindio? Anatufeel. So, but what you expect of this day today is that we have an ecosystem, and we want to thank you, because when a story will be told of this administration, 1,000 years to come, the biggest chapter and the largest chapter in that story will be your renewed focus and the increased attention that you have given to the sector of MSME. Do you agree with me? Because by designating a whole ministry and your leadership since independence just to focus mambo MSME, asubuhi naamka MSME, saa saba naamka MSME, jioni naamka MSME, it shows that indeed you meant it when you say we needed to change on how we develop this country and start focusing on building our economy from the bottom of the economic pyramid, the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. So we are here today with an ecosystem to celebrate our MSMEs, but we also stand in solidarity with them, because our MSMEs are faced with a number of shocks. Of course, the sad events that happen the other day is not something that we can go without talking about. I know there's so many businesses that have now gone under. Somebody somewhere has lost a job. Somebody somewhere will go into depression and might even lose his or her life because of the destruction that happened there. So biashara ndogo ni nguvu, sisi tunaomba tu wakitafuta mambo yao
pia sisi watupatie nafasi tufanye mambo yetu, and I leave that to other actors in the ecosystem who will talk about it, but it is really sad. But we also celebrate you. Today we are going to share opportunities which are there. We take stock of what we've done, the government, the private sector, the development partners, and our endeavors in establishing a very supportive ecosystem that will promote growth and development of our MSME. So while doing that also, we are going, Your Excellency, for the first time to launch the inaugural State Department strategic plan, which is a master plan. It's actually a master plan because of the level of participation, the input that has come from across the MSME sector. ILO have spoken about it. We had everybody making input. So it's going not just a strategic plan for the State Department, but it's going to guide and inform the MSME sector, the ecosystem, on what we need to do to support MSME. So we expect to launch, and we are privileged that you will be launching our strategic plan. And therefore, in recognition of the robust ecosystem, and they are willing to support us, allow me now to invite my panel, and it's a dialogue. Your Excellency, this is a dialogue. At some point, we may actually ask you also, because you also to share with us what your government, what our government has in store for MSME. So allow me to ask the first panel to walk in the stage. Representative from CEO for CAM, please. It's a 30 minutes. It's a dialogue. You challenge us to dialogue, every economic sectors to engage in some sort of dialogue. His name is Tobias Orlando. Makofi kwake. Allow me to call in the CEO for Kenya Bankers Association. Makofi. Allow me also to call in the representative, the gentleman in charge of SME banking, Equity Bank. Where are you? Makofi. Allow me to call in the PS for housing, my biggest market ever in the last 2 years. PS Charles Hinga. Allow me also to invite the PS for trade, who will help us to see how do we facilitate trade to happen across borders. Dr. Regina. Then, last but not least, the Juakali Nguvu. Karibu, Nguvu Kazi. The CEO for Juakali. I didn't realize sina kiti hapa. But ni sawa tu. So this is a reflection of the ecosystem, but also in the plenary, we also going to have a few interjection, and this thank you for that. So we will have a few interjection, especially from the development partners and MSMEs themselves. So here, I don't have any particular order, but we are here to renew our commitment for the MSME sector. I have government here, and then I have also private sector here. I want to begin by Kenya Bankers Association. And my question to you is that the ecosystem to be complete, we must unlock access to affordable credit. If you look at the events that happened 2 days ago, we have MSMEs who have been crying. I had just taken a loan of 2 million. Everything has come down. How am I going to recover? What can you tell that MSME?
Yeah, thank you, Your Excellency. We were on these grounds with you last year in October, and we gave a commitment to be able to double our support to MSMEs. So we were at 75 billion contribution in 2024. Yes, we were at 75 billion contribution to small businesses in 2024. So this year, as collectively, all banks, we committed to be able to double that number to 150 billion. I'm happy to report that from January to May, we are at 81 billion. So we look forward to actually being able to surpass that target of 150 billion. I'm happy to report that from January to May, we are at 81 billion. So we look forward to actually being able to surpass that target of 150 billion. Because taxes has been taken care of through the Finance Act 2025. And lastly, because taxes has been taken care of through the Finance Act 2025. And lastly, we are also working with the Central Bank just to be able to ensure that the loans from banks are affordable. We have had an assessment which doesn't lead to those affordable rates. So currently, we are the tail end with Central Bank to be able to ensure that we have an assessment tool to assess you better and ensure that you can be able to get affordable credit from our local banks. Thank you.
All right. So from Equity, you know, Equity is known for having been among the first financial institution to deepen financial inclusion. Our recent conversation with Dr. Mwangi, who is the group CEO for Equity, revealed that it's only 60% of your financing goes to business. Only 6% of your financing. So most of those loans are going for other personal users. What do you think we are not doing? So what do we need to do to now deepen credit inclusion, transition from financial inclusion to credit inclusion, so that wananchi hawa MSMEs wetu mashujaa can get access to loans, to affordable credit to do business?
Thank you, Madam PS, Your Excellency. This is Colin Wanyonyi, Director SME at Equity Bank, Kenya. I'll start by just trying to debrief on the numbers. So if you look at Equity Bank this year, we've reached out to 757,000 MSMEs, just reaching out to give them a view of what SMEs can do. We've trained 652,372 SMEs. We've then given funding to 350,000. 149 MSMEs. Just to give you the depth of how low we are going, and these are not SMEs, these are micros that we are focusing on. And when you look then at the micros that we focus on, and because most of their loans are short-term in nature, cumulatively we've given them 353 billion. So 353 billion is total cumulative amount that we've advanced to MSMEs. But then what are the items that we need to help to get the MSMEs to move on? I'm happy that we have a PS Hinga here. We're having discussions with his ministry, and one of the things we're looking at is if I'm able to get a domiciliation letter that confirms that this Juakali artisan has been contracted for X level of work, and the payments will come within a period of Y, I'll be able to advance them. And if you look at how we've done that ecosystem, the maximum amount we can give to an SME, that from it's a minimum of 1 million to a maximum of 250 million that's available to access to these MSMEs. So the funds are there, it's just how to work on that mechanism of sending that. And also proud to say that we are also taking advantage of National Treasury Credit Guarantee Scheme to then advance some of these monies to our MSMEs. Thank you.
You've told us, and I know we've had this conversation, you have 11 billion Kenyan shilling word tender for Juakali and for Madirisha and all those. But now tell us, what do you think what is the uptake, first of all, of those tenders, and what are Juakali saying outside there, so that the commitments that Equity and the Kenya Bankers Association are making, we see what is it that we can do so to increase the uptake of this opportunity?
Thank you very much, PS. I think allow me to set the scene. We live in this country, and you know that we have a broken housing market where 70% of your urban population lives in the slums. Then you have a problem. It is one thing to discuss it. It's another thing to have a plan. So you have, we have a program where we are fixing an existential problem where the do nothing is just going to make the situation worse. We also have a situation whereby we are food insecure country, and we know if you look at our breadbasket counties, we are subdividing the land and putting up real estate. And therefore our arable land is getting smaller and smaller. So that is important because we are solving an existential problem. Now, while doing that, and because the biggest question that Kenyans asked is why housing and why housing now? It is very important to understand why are we having this program, and despite the noise that has been there, we have stuck with it. We are doing that because the dividend of fixing a multi-generational problem has also created opportunities. And these opportunities lie in enterprise, in job creation. You all know that when you read history, whenever the world had an issue with the economic meltdown, progressive leaders, FDR during the Great Depression, President Obama, just to quote two, in the Great Depression, they focused on building, and you build out of that depression. President Obama did the same thing. And we have a president here who, equally, when he came into office, we were struggling with the challenges of post-COVID, and equally we had the war in Russia that, and Ukraine that was affecting our supply chain. Now, so what that has created is an economy that is not creating enough jobs. At the same time, you have a situation whereby you have a massive urban migration. We have over 500,000 people who are moving to urban areas every year. And then you have got almost 800,000 young people who are joining the job market every year. You must have a plan. And that's why housing is a great opportunity to invest, because of the great supply chain that exists in housing. If you forget for once that housing is 4 walls and a roof, and you think about every component that makes a house, each one of them is an industry. So we have a problem which then creates what we call a consumptive demand. Therefore, we have taken a program. We are targeting 200,000 homes, and I want to just give you a few statistics leading to the 11 billion. Number one, we are at 148,000 units under construction. Now, we could have easily said, okay, let's import all these doors and windows because maybe in China they make them faster and maybe they make them cheaper. But we said we want to invest in our people, because our people know how to make doors and they know how to make windows and all the other stuff. Most of you here are in that sector. So we took a chance on you, and we ring-fenced products that we know you make. The other thing that we did, we were very deliberate in removing the middlemen. In the past, we knew that between the opportunities and yourself, the people who are actually doing the job, there were many people who make more money than you who is actually making those doors. So we decided to go direct, and we're going directly to the Juakali Association. We have organized you, and we have given you direct opportunities. Here with me today, I don't know where they are, I have 4 beneficiaries, one from Kibra, Soweto, whom we have given 700, he's here at the back there, if the PS has a chance.
Maybe someone should pass a mic to him. He looks rich.
Because I think it is time for you to hear from the real people who are benefiting, because sometimes it sounds like a story.
In a minute.
So the Kibra group has 720 million shillings worth of work. Now, you know, 720 million shillings is not small change. You know, there are not many businesses, actually big businesses, that have got that kind of opportunity. So just the Kibra group that is doing 4,054 units, they have got 720 million. We have got Mukuru as well. I have somebody from Mukuru. I asked them to come here today as well, that have benefited the first phase, where His Excellency the President handed over keys. They have done the doors and the windows. The first phase, which is about 6,000 units, they have a contract of 200 million. Again, it is not a story, it is true, and they are getting the contracts directly. We also have Roiro, where I think was one of the first one that we did the groundbreaking with His Excellency the President, nearing completion. They have another contract of 120 million. So all these 720, 200, and because we have got over 200 sites for housing all over the country, it aggregates to 11 billion shillings. 11 billion shillings. I'm sure. So that is really a testament of what you can do when you are fixing an existential problem, but you have a deliberate plan. And that is really what this housing agenda is all about. So sometimes you misunderstand why are we sticking with this housing? Because on one hand, people are saying, why are you focusing on housing instead of focusing on jobs? It is because housing, you fix the housing problem, you fix jobs. So we have a lot to say, but because of the interest of time, and I get very passionate about this because this is real, it is changing people's lives. And by the way, guess what? Not only are they getting those billions of shillings, they are also the new homeowners. So the real dividend is that they not only build the doors and the windows, they are the real homeowners. And the last point is 11 billion PS was probably a statistic when we had Madaraka Day. Since then, I've already signed new contracts. So I will soon be updating you where we are, because every site that we are signing, there is opportunities for MSMEs. And those are only 3 products.
Thank you, PS.
Doors,
I'll
windows, and balustrades. But Your Excellency, we have got 69 products. So we've only tested 3 products, and we already have 11 billion. Can you imagine how this country will look when we roll out the 69 products?
Thank you.
Sorry for taking too much time.
I had to add you some more minutes because I'm going to knock at your door with my Juakali. You are a huge market. You said how many billion again? Thank you. So can we get to hear from Juakali person there just in a minute? Tell us what is your experience, how are you accessing finance, because they are here. These people today, they need to tell us how they are going to support you. Yeah.
Thank you so much. My name is Akal Aura. I'm a welder from Kibra High Rise. This is where we have a pilot project of the 4,515 units that are ongoing. I, myself, and my team, we were able to secure a contract worth 720 million. That is for the first time that has ever happened in our country, something that has never happened before. I thank Your Excellency. I'm not new in your face. I know when this contract was being given, you handed it over to me, you yourself. I really appreciate this. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, we've been able to, I and my team have been able to.
So who is financing you?
We are getting loans from the SMEs, from the banks. We've been able to access this.
At what interest rate? Allow me to ask.
18%.
This is the conversation.
We are getting it at 18%. 18%.
KBA.
This is something. we are making a request. We're making a request in terms of the interest. We're really crying that if you.
Thank you.
Please, Lloyd.
I'm sure Your Excellency, you will come in on that, because 2.5 years ago you sat with this Wakurugenzi and you agreed we can really get to push this credit to a single digit. And I think this is a conversation that we are going to have. Thank you very much. Let's clap for him. Now, Hinga, and arising from the opportunities that you have talked about, I'm just asking, is the same arrangement happening across the country? I mean, if I go to Kitale, if I go to Isiolo, if I go to Mandera, are the Juakali in those areas gaining access to this opportunity, or are we importing Juakali from Nairobi?
It is happening in every site. In fact, PS Susan, I want to challenge you because I am doing a housing scheme in your backyard in Funyula. And I would like you to testify because I know you are on site. The Juakalis in Funyula have the same work. I go as far as Mabera, near the border of Kenya and Tanzania. By the way, this program, we are implementing it already in 44 out of 47 counties. The 3 counties that were remaining, Turkana, Marsabit, and Elgeyo Marakwet, and West Pokot. they have been advertised. So even those Juakalis in Turkana, Marsabit, and West Pokot, you are also going to be benefiting in the next 2 or so months.
So let's clap for PS. Now, edible oil value chain, and this I'm coming to the Kenya Association of Manufacture. Every year we spend close to 150 billion. People spend in the industry to import the edible oil, raw materials, sesame, soya beans, sunflowers, palm oil. Yet these are traditional value chain. What are you doing? What are you doing in terms of working out on our local supply system so that we give this huge opportunity? Even if they can get to retain 50% of that amount, it will go into people's pocket. What is it that you're doing in that space as of taker?
Thank you very much. I think it is an important conversation to ensure that we can source locally the raw material, which is edible oil, and process it here. Under what we call agriculture for industry is a pillar that is dear to us, and we are in conversation with different ministries, Ministry of Trade and Ministry of Agriculture and the Council of Governors, because right now there are already existing manufacturers who have identified potential areas where we can grow sunflower and the other edible products. Is just to provide that conducive linkage with the farmers in those areas to plant the crop. Then we will come in as off-takers. And for this to happen, we need the government and the county government to take action in terms of linking with the farmers and providing the necessary seeds. What we are guaranteeing is that we are going to provide of taking. We've also had a conversation with the different banks from the private sector to see how they can support these farmers so that they are guaranteed that when we take those seeds, edible oil seeds, then they are going to be paid. So I'm seeing it is an opportunity that it can happen. We just need to enhance those efforts and make it happen here in Kenya, because it is indeed possible.
PS Trade. Every time we see our president having diplomatic and bilateral engagement, we are seeing a market. We are right now implementing the FCFTA. Tell us what opportunities exist there for some of our MSMEs also to take, or rather to trade across the border. The other day we signed the economic partnership with EU. How are we actualizing that? Because it's one thing to sign on the paper, it's another thing to really get to maximize on that opportunity. What is it that we are doing in your sector?
Thank you, Susan and Your Excellency. This is a situation that we are finding ourselves in at a time when we actually had not the best economic situation, having gone through COVID, having gone through all those global issues that were happening. But through your leadership, we have seen a full understanding of the value of concentrating on micro, small enterprises to actually be the productive sector of the economy and move away from thinking more around consumption. And in that case, therefore, I have seen that through my State Department, we have been able to actually get us to push the agenda of ensuring that domestic trade works for its citizens. Hence the really big push for the macro and small scale industries, so that there's a lot of production around value addition, making our products more competitive and fetching higher prices in the markets out there. This therefore means that when we are going into entering agreements with the European Union, the UAE's, the Africa Continental Trade Agreement, we are really focusing on ensuring that we stop taking to the market our raw materials, but send to the market the value-added products that we are producing locally. Hence the reason why today is a very important day for us, because we are really getting to get the MSMEs to understand that they can not only produce for the domestic market, but there's potential for them to actually export out there. So, Your Excellency, your move for really getting us to focus on a market-oriented kind of economy, where we make sure we protect our local industries, but empower our industries to produce so that they're able to satisfy the local demand as well as have excess that can be used in the global market. Principally, what we have done in this agreement is now to make it open, and thank you to you, Your Excellency, for really pushing us to enter into negotiations with China, to enter into negotiations with the EU, so that we actually start serious negotiations around trade that is beneficial to us as a country, because trade has actually been very imperfect for a very long time.
And I'm just thinking deeply and looking at Kenya Association of Manufacturers. I think you need to work closely with her so that we see how to maximize on these opportunities.
Yes,
Yeah.
I confirm we've been working closely with the ministry. In fact, from the private sector, we've gone beyond, after the signing of the agreement, we've gone to the stage of now educating the members in terms of the customs requirement for EU, customs requirement for FCFTA market. So from the private sector, we take advantage of what government has already done and educate our members. What we encourage is that let it not be a market that it's accessible by only bigger companies, but also our SMEs can create and find a platform to export our goods to those regions.
So, to Jua Kali here.
Yes, thank you very much.
You introduce yourself first.
My name is Felix Ndunda. My name is Felix Ndunda. I represent an organization called Kenya National Federation of Jua Kali Association. We are one of the biggest employer, Your Excellency, when it comes to employment in the informal sector. And maybe before I proceed, I would like to recognize our two members there from Jua Kali Association, Kamukunji, Secretary and the Chairman. If you can just wave. In the sector of metal fabrication. So the Jua Kali sector, Your Excellency, is a sector that for the longest has been creating employment, especially for the young people. And I can tell you, you are truly talking to right now. I'm also an artist and I do leather shoes, like the one I'm wearing here. And I'll also, your next pair, I can be able to do it for you. So that shows that the Jua Kali sector, we are skilled. And right now we are running several initiatives. One called RPL, it's called Recognition of Prior Learning, whereby we are certifying our artisans based on the experience they have. And mostly we are doing that through the affordable housing. And I want to reiterate what the PS Hinga said, that yes, this affordable housing is a true story. It is not a story ajaba. And you can see most of our members are being able to plug into the affordable housing. The issue here is one of the hindrances that we are facing as the Jua Kali sector when it comes to the affordable housing is easy access to credit, whereby we'd like the banks to look at us as a financial potential, not financial risk. Because you see, the affordable housing has been able to open up opportunities, especially for the young people, whereby not only building the houses, also they can be able to own it. And right now as a federation, we have taken a step forward whereby in 2022, we did sign an MOU together with KCB Bank and KCB Foundation to be able to offer what I call tailor-made financial credit to our members. And very soon, Madam PS and Your Excellency, we are moving forward with KCB, whereby each and every member, wherever they are in every association, they will be able to get a credit limit so that can be able to push their business forward. And I want to thank you very much, Your Excellency. Since your leadership, we are working very closely with your government through the State Department for MSME, and whereby now Jua Kali sector, we are on the table when the decisions are made. And we want to thank you very much. Also working closely with our state agencies like MSEA, Wezo Fund, and the rest. And also the sector has sent me to highlight to you that we have been working very closely with MSEA, and we are part of the part of the process that did an act to create MSEA. We have been sitting in the board of MSEA for a while, but right now we have no representation, so maybe you can consider that. Thank you.
But you're not a good person. Not report kwa mdozi na tukapo na
Sijachoma.
So allow me, I have a hustler in the room. Alisema ameniandikia noti hapa akasema ako na kitu ya kusema. Mike, where is this hustler? Someone pass the mic to this hustler.
Okay, kwanza nishukuru Mheshimiwa Rais kwa nafasi hii. Majina yangu ni Kevin Amateshe Ahonya. Mimi ni mfanyabiashara. Nimekuwa for business for 20 years now. Jua kali. I deal with ladies shoes that has sustained my family for 20 years. On 24th, I was self-employed, and on 25th, I was forced to be among the jobless because of what happened. And as we speak right now, I don't know what to say, because now my children that have been taken care of, expecting them to be among the panelists there, their dreams are in danger. My prayer is that as much as Mheshimiwa Rais is making effort to employ as many as he can, let's understand not all people will be accommodated. We have those who are self-employed, who depend on their effort. I wake every day at 5. I sleep at 11 daily to make sure that I sustain my family and I don't involve myself in crime. And that's why up to now, I have never been handcuffed with a single police for these many years that I have been in business. Have been able to take care of my family comfortably. But now, because of what I don't know to term it, if it's a politics or what, through the demonstration that was there, my place of work was burned to ashes. I work at Koja Stage on the building called Lord's House, where all our businesses were burned to ashes. And as I speak now, Mheshimiwa Rais, I have nowhere to start from. I will be happy if I can leave this room with a hope for my future and my children and my fellow hustlers that we hustle together with them.
Thank you. We feel you. We cry with you. But most importantly, we are here to assist him, I think led by Our Excellency the President, and we'll figure out on how to support the businesses to recover. Thank you. Your Excellency, you have an interjection?
Thank you very much. I really feel for my friend who just, Kevin, who's just talked. I will speak to that later, but you can count on my support as we go forward. But let me speak to the earlier issue that was raised by both P.S. Hinga and my friend Carl, my friend Carl here. As Hinga said, we came with a plan, because out of the many challenges we have as a nation, we have to figure out how do we deal with the challenges that face our nation. Challenges of unemployment, challenges of doing business, and by solving some of the public challenges that we have, we create opportunities, as Hinga said, for business to grow and opportunities for jobs to be found. particularly on the housing program, as you have been told, countries that understand how to grow out of challenges. You build your way out of situations of depression. Because of what we have done, we have not only created 250,000 jobs, as I talk to you, physically in the construction sites. We have 200 construction sites across Kenya. We have architects, engineers, quantity surveyors working. But we also have people like Carl here, people who are in the Juakali sector. Juakali sector was never organized. I have listened to them. And many of them are saying you get a window one day, a door another day, you stay for 2-3 weeks, you haven't found something to do. And it becomes, the earnings become so intermittent that somebody cannot sustain a livelihood. So what did we do with housing? We decided that this Juakali sector, we're going to formalize it. We're going to give them contracts. And when we designed the whole housing program, we made it intentional and deliberate that we are going to give a separate contract to the contractor who is doing the civil works. We are going to have a separate contract for all the other products, including doors and windows and hinges and everything else that we have in that space. And it was easier for us to give a whole contract to one contractor and they would import all these things from everywhere. But our identification of the Juakali sector was intentional because we wanted to create enterprise locally. We wanted to create jobs and support jobs locally. Many people did not believe that the Juakali would do this. But I can tell you today that we do not have a single Chinese contractor doing our affordable housing. We have all local contractors. All of them. 200 housing, 200 sites, 148,000 housing units are being built by local contractors. That's number one. Number two, the Juakali that was informal, the Juakali that nobody believed in and did not have quality products, we have sat down with them and we have told them we're going to give you a contract. I remember when the initial, we put together the people in Dagoretti Corner, in Ngong Road and Kamkunji and Kariobangi, and they didn't even have a name. So they came up with what was it? Ngogamka, because it was Ngong Road, Kamkunji, and Kariobangi, you know? And they wondered how this was going to happen. So number one, we standardized the windows. You cannot, in our affordable housing plan, because the way to produce products in mass is to make sure that they are standardized. So we have standardized all the windows, we have standardized all the doors, and we have standardized all the other products so that it becomes easy for the Juakali sector to produce them in mass. And once we have trained them to do a certain product and they have gotten the skill, they do not have to change the skill every moment. So today, Carl and all the other people in the Juakali sector know that a window is this size. And by the way, Juakali is not synonymous with low quality. Today, our Juakali sector are producing good quality products because we have insisted. And we told them very clearly that although we want to support you, we are not going to compromise on quality. You must make the right quality product. And you know what? We have the best human capital anywhere in the world. The Juakali today is measuring up to what we could have imported from anywhere else in the world. And they are continuously improving. And when we said we are going to work with the Juakali sector, people thought it was a joke. When we gave the first contract, I remember, Hinga, when we went to Ruto, and we gave a contract of 120 million shillings to the Juakali sector to make windows and hinges and doors for our project in Ruto. Even themselves, they were wondering how this is going to happen. But they have delivered, and the project in Ruto is complete. In fact, we will be going to give out the houses shortly. Carl here and his team, they have put together the whole Juakali sector around Soweto in Kibra. They have shared the windows, they've shared the hinges, they've shared the doors, and they now have a contract of 720 million. Is that true, Carl? How much? Is it 7,200? 720 million shillings. These Juakali people. A contract of 720 million would ordinarily be funded by the World Bank or something, because it's such a big contract. But now these Juakali people are doing it. And as Hinga said, it is not just in Soweto. In the 200 sites we have across Kenya, in our 44 counties so far, we have Juakali sector working with us with contracts to produce for our affordable housing program and for our markets and for the hostels we are building. Let me just speak to one final thing that was said by Carl. And he said, we are borrowing money from the banks at 18%. You know? And the banks are here, and they are my friends. And we have had this conversation. They told me, the problem, Mr. President, is that government is borrowing at 16%. So if government is borrowing at 16%, we cannot lend lower to the private sector. I have worked on the economy, and I am very proud of what we have achieved in stabilizing the economy. We've brought down inflation from 9.6% to 3.8%. We've brought down the exchange rate from 165, now we are at 129. We have brought down TB rates, and I want to ask these good people from the bank. We brought down the borrowing of government on treasury bills from 16%, where we were when we had the conversation. Now the TB rate is 8.5% from 15. Your interest rates to Carl is still at 18%. Please explain to me. You know? I mean, that's the question. You know? You told me, Mr. President, reduce borrowing by government, because if you are borrowing at 15, we cannot lend to Carl at lower. Now, I have done my part. I have reduced borrowing on TB bills now to 8. I have actually reduced it by half. You are still, explain to me, why are you still at 18% to Carl, please? This is really the conversation we must have. And I appreciate that the banks are lending to the MSME sector. You've just told us you have lent 81 billion shillings. Part of that lending is to Carl and others. But you see, you need to be fair, because you're making good profits. And I have no problem with making good profits. But surely, you should consider your customers. I think we must be deliberate about reducing interest rates. And the public is asking, the governor of central bank Kamau Thuge, has been discussing with banks. And banks have told us, oh, you know, we are going to reduce interest rates. Oh, you know, we are going to reduce interest rates. We want you to match what you're saying with what you do, so that the sector can benefit more. And for your information, apart from cutting down on our expenditures and reducing borrowing from the market so that we can reduce rates, we've built more reserves. You know, the reason why we made a decision as government, and I drove that decision of saying, let us do more savings. Today, I can proudly tell the country that we have improved our public savings from 320 billion in 2022. We are now closing to 600 billion before the end of this year. So, and as we improve our savings, we will make it easier for resources to be available, to be lent, patient money to be lent, and then we can manage the interest rates to come down, so that people like Carl and all these other people in the Juakali sector can borrow at lower interest rates. Finally, it shouldn't be the place of government to lend money. It is the place of banks. But you know, because the banks are stuck, now we have KICC, we're trying to manage interest rates at 10%. We have Hustler Fund at 8%. We're trying to do all manner of interventions, because the people who are supposed to do this, my good brother from Equity Bank, you need to do it better. And we are going to work with you to see how we can do it better. So I just thought maybe I should intervene just on that issue of being deliberate about creating jobs and supporting the MSME sector, and also trying to see how we can bring down interest rates so that they can employ more people, they can do better, and they can earn from their living and expand their enterprises and grow our economy.
Thank you, Your Excellency. I think our financial partners, you've taken that challenge, and the push is to get to single-digit interest rates. When we had a conversation with Equity, you said now you understand the Hustler Fund, and you're willing to graduate within that collateral frameworks that we discussed. Maybe just a minute on that.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam PS. Your Excellency, a week ago, our GCO did lead our delegation to the ministry, and personally I got the first-hand experience to understand the Hustler Fund. When I say you talk about Hustler Fund on TV, and what Madam PS told me, I got, if I had to do an exam, I'll get A in that exam. So what we reviewed with Madam PS is, out of the 26 million members on Hustler Fund, the government has done grading. So we have the 9 million who have been upgraded, and we're looking at splitting those into two. So we have the 4.6 million who are grade 1. So we are working to do an enhancement so that we can incorporate them into full banking. And our GCO gave a commitment of 1 month that we should be coming to you to demonstrate how we've upgraded the 4.6 from Hustler Fund into the mainstream banking. And he also gave a commitment that we have the second level of the 4.4 million. And as part of our Equity Group Foundation, we'll have an incubator program to take them through the process of how to move from the listing phase that they were and move into proper banking. So our commitment was to then have all the qualifying members from Hustler Fund to move into our digital lending program. And to just emphasize our digital lending program, MSMEs can qualify up to 5 million shillings, and they can borrow that digitally. So that was our commitment from the GCO to the Madam PS, and they are co-chair of that program. Thank you.
Excellency, in the interest of time, allow me just a minute to bring in a development partner, GIZ, who's also talk about their commitment on behalf of all development partners. The reason being, when we talk about development partner support, what comes to GIZ, is there someone pass the mic to her, please? Irene, you can stand up and get the mic. It's only 20% comes through a budget, 80% they implement directly. So we're trying to see how do we also get to have sight of the programs they support and how do we align them to our priorities, so then we get to start witnessing impact in the MSME sector. And I really want you also to speak about your plans for capacity building. Thank you.
Thank you so much, PS Susan, Your Excellency. I would want to say that what GIZ is doing is only making what is good already better. The government of Kenya has already done a lot in terms of supporting MSMEs to grow, and that's also our intention, to facilitate that process that has already been started by the government of Kenya. So broadly from the development partner side, we are looking at the pain points of MSMEs. What are the key pain points? One of them is financing, which has already been discussed extensively. For sure, a lot can be done by the government. A lot has been done by the government. And what the development partners will do is basically provide some facilitation in terms, for example, there before, when there was the issue of the credit guarantee schemes, you'd find the likes of World Bank, KfW coming in to support government to move forward that process, and also have in place policies that will really support that space. When it comes to markets, yeah, and PS Regina has mentioned a lot that the government is doing in terms of that. But we know business all ends at trade. If you show me the market, then as an SME, I'm able to work towards meeting the needs of that market. And what GIZ is doing and other development partners is supporting the Kenyan MSMEs through the government of Kenya to exploit markets both internal and external in the region and also in other countries like US and also in Europe. PS Susan, if I was to talk about also the bit about capacity development, I'll delve deeper into it when I'm talking about what GIZ does. Again, ILO has already said what they do, and also GIZ and others are also working in that space, but I'll talk more about that. And maybe a fourth one, if you look at our SMEs, there's also the bit about innovation. What exactly are we doing to create new products? Or is it just business of, if so-and-so has a boutique and that's doing well, I also go ahead when I get some money and move into doing a boutique? Or can I, around the same boutique idea, create something fresh and new that can also give me money and give me an edge above the rest? So, and also innovation, when you're talking about the more serious innovation, coming up with new products, how do we go about that process? GIZ is also working and other development partners to support MSMEs. But now let me talk about what GIZ is doing in terms of capacity development. That is really our core of what we do, and that is in the space of MSMEs. So what we've done, we've worked with a few institutions to, first of all, like KICC, to review their curriculum so that they have a good curriculum that can not only be used by them, but can also be used by other BDS providers across the country. There before, when we were more focusing on the private sector, we also supported a good number of BDS service providers to be able to offer their services well. When it comes to, again, the issue of BDS, again, upon the request of PS Susan, what you have done is now we are looking into having an accreditation framework that will accredit BDS service providers. If you're saying that MSMEs are really the core of job creations, they create about 80% of jobs in the country, but then ILO is going to tell you about what is the quality of the jobs. And not that MSMEs want to pay little money, they're not making much profit, but how can they make much profit if their business skills are not improved? And that's what you're trying to do, to hone their business skills so they can be able to be more profitable. So in terms of that, PS Susan, like you said, there's the accreditation framework that we're doing. And then above that, together with the other actors in this space, we are looking at how can we have functional business development centers so that these are not programs that are led by development partners, but that Kenyans and the government of Kenya can actually have centers.
Thank you.
where they can do this. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Let's clap for her. So we have a lot that we can talk about, but I just want to appreciate your renewed commitment. I think we still have pending conversation on the issue of access to finance. I think, Your Excellency, we still need a round table with them. And also access to sustainable markets. We'll be taking that forward. And from our side as government, we have His Excellency the President, who is also going to share the key milestone and what we are going to do looking into the future. And to MSME, from where we sit, we want to say the door is open. We are there. Let's keep on talking. And let's keep on seeing how we can be able to support your business to grow. Thank you very much. Let's give another round of applause for our panelists. So, mnaweza enda. Hivyo tu. Hivyo tu. Asanteni. You know, and Hinga, you and this man of equity sit together to see how we can bring that interest rates and then we increase the uptake. Asanteni sana. Tuwapigie makofi watu wetu. So just allow me now. So now we want to get into the second part of this event. As we keep celebrating you, I say today we will also be launching the new growth strategic plan, a master plan for the sector of MSME. Your Excellency, with your permission, if I don't acknowledge certain people in this room, then my life will be at risk. The CEOs just stand up. This gentleman, and I think there was a lady. So we have a CEO for Uwezo Fund. Mpigieni makofi. These people have money, by the way. They have money. You meet them outside there in the corridor. Talk to them. They'll tell you how to get money. Sit down. Then we have the Director General for Micro Small Enterprise Authority, Henry Ridha. For the young people, I've heard about ile 50,000 tunapatia vijana ya kufanya biashara. Huyo ndiye amebeba hiyo pesa. Atawaambia huko nje jinsi ya kuwapatia finje hiyo 1,000 ya kufanya biashara. 50,000. And then we have the acting managing director of Kenya Industrial Estate, who's been supporting our industries to grow, especially the cottage industries, Charles Mativo, makofi kwake. I have Secretary for MSME, Mohamed Doyo, just stand up wa applaud. At least niko na mfanyikazi kidogo. The boards of our various boards, just stand up, want to acknowledge you. Just stand up so that we can clap for you. Okay, we have the board of Uwezo Fund, the board of KICC, the board of MSEA, the board of Hustler Fund. Iko wapi? Muko. Walikuwa nasema Hustler Fund haina board, ni kwa simu tu, si muko? Sawa, makofi kwenyu. And of course the various chairs of the board, I say thank you for coming and for making this day become this much outstanding. I'm so happy mimi ni mama yenu wa Hustler, mimi ndio nawashikia huko. So allow me to invite waziri wetu, Waziri Wycliffe Ambecha Oparanya akuje pia. He will invite His Excellency the President and then we'll pick it up from there. Asante, makofi kwake.
Your Excellency, the President, Mheshimiwa William Ruto, the President of the Republic of Kenya, and the Commander-in-Chief of our Defense Forces, the PSS who are here, thank you for coming from various ministries, the chairs of the various agencies within MSME sector, the chairs and the board and the members, staff within the ministry, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, let me appreciate you, Your Excellency, for sparing time to come to be with us this very important day of the World Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Day 2025. We know you are a busy person, but you have accepted to be here. It shows how focused you are on this particular sector, because this is the only sector that is going to create jobs, decent jobs for our people, and create wealth for our people. Your Excellency, you remember when you were out there moving around, one of the major problems that you saw when you talked to those entrepreneurs was actually finance. Finance has been a major problem. And as you have said, this is the work of the private sector. Private sector, in one way or another, they are trying. Sometimes they announce they have this support, and it takes time for us to see that particular support. But we are happy that through your intervention, we have Kenya Industrial Estate. It has done very well in areas of manufacturing. And that particular institution agency, Your Excellency, we need support, because they are operating on a turnover of 3 billion only. For a country like this, we need more support in that. I know there are other funds like Uwezo Fund, Women Fund, Youth Fund, which support groups, because these groups cannot go to the bank. If a bank manager heard that a group is out there waiting for me, he will wonder, are they lost? Because they will not be listened to. But you have been able to support these particular funds, and I'm happy that now the government is committed in bringing together these funds so that we have a robust financial system that can support this particular sector. And also, you bringing up the issue of credit guarantee to de-risk these small businesses, so that also the banks can now lend to them, because they will be sure that there is at least a guarantee to some level. Their money is guaranteed. And also the Hustler Fund. Hustler Fund, for information, Your Excellency, has done very well. You remember very well, I was one of the persons when I was the other side, saying that Musilipe Hustler Fund, how can you borrow 100 shillings? When I came in, I realized how important it was, because I encountered one youth who told me, actually, these 100 shillings I borrow for my lunch, nikiwa kwa mjengo. When it is in the evening, I pay back. I'm paid 500 shillings, I pay back the 100 shillings, and then now I'm able to use the 400 for other things. So I realized this is a good idea that you came up with, and will also require more funding within the Hustler Fund. And the fact that the bridging loan now is doing very well, you have a credit limit of 150 that you can borrow. Now, as a ministry, when we came in, we have come together as a ministry, because this particular sector is big. Out of the 20 million employable Kenyans, 15 of them, 15 million are within this sector. But where are these people? So where are these small businesses? Even Nairobi only. So we have come up with MSME Connect, which, Your Excellency, we launched on 14th March. So that as a government, we create a platform where all stakeholders within this sector, there are over 30, where I chair that particular committee, they are able to bring their problems, so that as a government, we know what is their problem, in which area do we focus on to create an enabling environment for them. We had the first meeting here on 14th March, and 2 weeks ago, we had a meeting in Meru. And that's how the product of our meeting is this choir that is entertaining us. We were able to meet them there, and we invited them for this particular function. And our next focus, we are going to Mombasa in 3 weeks' time for the same purpose. That is the MSME Connect. Now, on savings, part of our responsibility is to mobilize Kenyans to save. You have already said, Your Excellency, that now Kenyans have saved 300 billion, now they are on 600 billion. But most of them are through the formal structures, those who are in employment. But now as a ministry, we are emphasizing the issue of savings within the informal sector. And within the informal sector, those who are able to enter into Hustler Fund, there is a component that you save for your future. Because even if you are in formal sector, you will reach a time that you will retire. So we have that arrangement that you can save through Hustler Fund, and we can also save informally. There is already an organization established by His Excellency the President called NEST that you can use to save informally when you are in the informal sector. Market access, you heard market access is an issue, and I wanted to bring to the attention of this gathering that we are going to have a big conference here. It's called the East African Community Trade Fair that brings together all MSMEs. It is a big function. I had the privilege of attending one in Southern Sudan last year in October, and it was very big. We are grateful that it's now coming to Kenya, and it will be there around November. So you prepare to bring what you produce so that you are able to exhibit and also connect with other people in the East African community. That is now networking, and as Kenyans, we expand the market. When we were in Southern Sudan, we found that Kenya actually dominates that particular fair, trade fair. So be aware that you prepare. It will be around November or first or second week of December, depending on the availability of the president. I'm happy of the quality. I saw what was happening there, and I think this is the best direction. With little support, we'll be able to change this particular sector. Lastly, we are engaging the State Department of Planning so that we carry out a survey of this particular sector. The last survey was done in 2016. We want to know where particular specialty, particular groups, which sector, craft, where are they dominant? Are they dominant in Eastern, so that we are able to bring up common user facilities in that region, so that we improve on quality of the products that you give. Those are the only comments I had, ladies and gentlemen, and now I want to take this opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, to welcome Your Excellency the President to make your remarks. Karibu sana. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Waziri. Please, let's take our seats. Asanteni sana. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Hamjambo. No one among us here can doubt that the MSME sector is the lifeline of our economy. While the formal sector has remained relatively stable over the past 3 decades, providing employment to about 3 million Kenyans, I think now about 3.5, the informal sector has grown in leaps and bounds, now providing livelihoods to more than 17 million Kenyans, including my friend there, Kevin. And the sector today contributes about 40% of our GDP. As government, we recognize the immense potential of MSMEs to generate jobs, provide livelihoods, and sustain our citizens. That is why MSMEs are one of the 5 core pillars of the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. It is for this reason that we established the State Department of MSME Development for the first time in our republic. It coordinates efforts and anchors a robust MSME ecosystem to promote growth and development. And I'm very proud of my appointment of Susan Mangeni to be the first PS. She comes with the requisite passion and commitment to this sector. Every other morning I find a message on my phone on what is going on in that sector. And I am forced to read. Sometimes I reply, sometimes I let pass. In our plan, we committed to end the criminalization of work by making trading licenses and the provision of trading spaces an entitlement to every citizen who applies. Today, this commitment has been mainstreamed with county governments working to harmonize licenses and moving towards a single permit regime. It is not perfect, but it is work in progress. Apart from making sure that we decriminalize the space around doing business, especially for micro and small enterprises, we've made it also easier for those who want to register their businesses. It used to be a long process. Today, from the comfort of your phone, you can register your business with just 1,000 shillings. And going forward, we're going to make it even easier for those of you who want to register limited liability companies. Ladies and gentlemen, we are also building modern markets through our affordable housing program, fully equipped with cold storage facilities across Kenya, with ICT hubs, and with facilities for trading for micro and small enterprises. Our goal is to construct at least 2 markets in every constituency, providing not only decent trading spaces, but also facilities to reduce wastage, especially of perishable goods. Already, 280 markets are ongoing, some completed, some nearing completion, and I want to commend the State Department for Housing for undertaking this exercise. And of course, the Board of Housing for supporting it. For MSMEs in the manufacturing sector, we are partnering with the county governments to establish county aggregation and industrial parks in every county. These parks will offer shared manufacturing facilities for value addition. By August this year, 13 KICCs, or county aggregation and industrial parks, will be completed and ready for operationalization. Why are we doing county aggregation and industrial parks? I just listened to a presentation by one businesswoman who said she operates out of Karioko. And she does business with Karioko because in Karioko they have common user facilities to deal with matters leather. Karioko is very far from Bungoma or Kwale or the rest of the places. So what are we doing? To be able to enhance infrastructure available for manufacturers in the MSME sector, and recognizing that micro and small enterprises may not have the money to buy equipment on their own. It becomes necessary for us to build county aggregation and industrial parks, equip them with the equipment the MSMEs require, and work with them so that they can use those facilities, common user facilities, to build their businesses and to expand their trade. And therefore, I'm asking those of you who are in this sector to begin to appropriate the space around county aggregation and industrial parks. Those are your spaces. You will use those spaces, you will use the equipment in there. We are going to equip those facilities, but you're going to be the end users and you will be the end managers of those facilities. We are also committed to reviewing our policy and regulatory framework to make it easier to start and run business in Kenya. Today, we have reviewed our MSME policies to support business growth nationally. And I want to thank GIZ for the support they've given us in that space so that we can have what PS is saying, a master plan of the entire space around micro, small, and medium enterprises. The revised MSME policy integrates government priorities, including the value chain approach and cluster development. It now also includes medium enterprises to support the growth of transition from micro to small and medium enterprises, a gap that existed in the 2020 MSME policy. The government's digitization agenda has enabled the onboarding of over 20,000 government services onto the e-citizen platform, creating a true one-stop shop. This has significantly reduced business registration costs, as I said, to 1,000 shillings. This process can be initiated and completed from the comfort of your home, while the integration of e-procurement has made it even easier to do business with government. As I did commit to the country that we are going to transition to e-procurement. All government tenders will now be available to all people who want to participate online from 1st of next month. And every other process in that ecosystem, including who gets evaluated, who eventually wins the tender, for how much, is going to be available on the e-platform so that we avoid government paying for products and services more than what the market, what costs in the market. We committed to unlock access to affordable credit at those at the bottom of the economic pyramid through the Hustler Fund and in partnership with the private sector, banks and telecom companies. We have given opportunities to affordable credit to 26 million Kenyans. To date, the Hustler Fund has disbursed 71 billion and mobilized nearly 5 billion in savings. And why is this important? I know Waziri Oparanya has said we need to repay our loans. But also, apart from repaying our loans, we have given 26 million Kenyans to have a credit history. Even if you don't pay, at least we have a history that you don't pay. It is still good enough, you know, for the next person. That this person normally pays, this other one does not pay. So we have at least brought a credit history to everybody. Of the 26 million people, they now have a credit history, which is a good thing. And you know, the positive thing about a credit history is that you can improve it. You know, you may have not a very good credit history today, but you have an opportunity to repair it. You know, tomorrow you can repair it, and progressively, when you see the need to repair it, you will then discover that it is good to have good behavior in borrowing and lending and repaying. And because now we have, you know, count yourself lucky that you may have run away with 100 or 200 or 500 shillings, but you have an opportunity further down the road, you know, to use that borrowing history to improve on your credit rating. There are those who have not paid. Their benefit is they have a credit history. There are those who are paying. About 7 million of them were now working with the banks. And I was very happy to listen to my good friend from Equity Bank, that they're now working at splitting those who are paying, about 7 million of them, into two. And now they are assessing how we can transition these people into formal banking. They can be considered now in the formal banking space, something that was not available to banks in the past. Today, the banks can look at the borrowers in the Hustler Fund and begin to, work with them towards graduating them, training them, and making them bankable. There are about 2 million who wake up every day, borrow from the Hustler Fund, and pay. There are those who now have been graduated into the bridge loan. There are people today on the Hustler Fund who borrow 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, up to 150,000 without any collateral. Their collateral is just their good manners of paying and repaying, credit history. And we are slowly changing collateral. And that was the intention of Hustler Fund. We are slowly changing collateral from having a title deed or a logbook to having a credit history upon which you can borrow and you can be lent money. So the choice is yours. You can make whatever choice you want, but now you have an opportunity to choose. At least you have options, right? You have an option to have just a credit history, which is good. You also have an option of borrowing and paying in small amounts. You have an option of graduating yourself to the next level, and you have an option of doing business around that space. The reason why I came up with the Hustler Fund was because I found 7 million Kenyans on credit rating bureaus. We had 7 million Kenyans on CRBs. I don't know whether you remember that. And they could not transact anywhere. They could not transact in any platform because they had been flagged. If you want to go to the bank, they say this man is a bad person. If you want to go anywhere, they say this lady is not good. So we removed 7 million Kenyans from the credit rating bureaus, transitioned them to a new platform where you are not condemned, but you are given a chance to either be a good person or remain around there, but nobody is condemning you. Today, we don't have people who are denied services because they are condemned by credit rating bureaus, except for those who decided to go back. As I said, the innovative 9-band Hustler behavioral credit rating system, crystallized from Hustler Fund experience, is enabling good borrowers to graduate to higher loan limits based on their credit ratings, marking a shift from conventional collateral-based lending, where you needed to have a logbook or a title or something else to be able to be given money. Now, just by having a good credit rating, you can actually access resources. Even as we take stock of these achievements today, we acknowledge that much more remains to be done to unlock the full potential of the MSME sector in creating secure and sustainable jobs for the many young people entering our job market every year. Through initiatives such as the National Youth Opportunities Towards Advancement Nyota program, which supports youth entrepreneurship with capacity building and seed capital, the Kenya Jobs Economic Transformation Program, normally known as KICC, which aims to boost enterprise competitiveness and productivity to generate quality and sustainable jobs for our youth. The government is fully committed to supporting private sector growth. Ladies and gentlemen, even as we celebrate our MSMEs today, we must confront a painful reality. And I want to express my deepest regret for the loss of lives, looting and wanton destruction, and loss of valuable property belonging to our traders who were deliberately targeted by criminal elements during the protests this week. Besides the regrettable loss of lives, the biggest victims of this chaos were our hard-working traders and entrepreneurs who wake up early every day to find some of their businesses and hustles reduced to ashes, and others with broken doors and empty walls or empty stalls. Let me say this. The right to peaceful protest is protected by our Constitution. We respect and uphold that right. But what we witnessed was not peaceful protest. It was calculated chaos. It was violence. It was destruction. And it was economic sabotage. Let's call it what it is. That is what it was. Shops were looted. Businesses, some built over decades, were burnt to the ground. Market stalls destroyed. Warehouses ransacked. Investments worth billions of shillings wiped out in hours. The livelihoods of hard-working Kenyans have been shattered by deliberate acts of lawlessness. It is anarchy dressed in freedom colors. This is disorder disguised as democracy. Is this the Kenya we really want? I dare ask. Do we want to build or do we want to destroy? Do we uphold the law only to exploit its protection, to sow chaos and cripple our economy? Is this what freedom really means? Is it freedom to ban what others have built? Those elements doing this are not fighting for freedom. They are attacking freedom. I expect the Inspector General of Police and all relevant security agencies to conduct immediate, thorough, and speedy investigations. The perpetrators of this violence, looting, and destruction must be identified and prosecuted for the fullest extent of the law, swiftly and decisively. Kenya is a country governed by the rule of law, and the government will not allow such acts to destroy lives and livelihoods. To the political actors who think they can exploit the genuine aspirations of our young people to foment chaos, violence, and destruction, the wheels of justice will find you and deal with you firmly, decisively, within the full letter of the law. For those who want power, the Constitution is clear. Elections will come. Formulate a better plan. Convince the people of Kenya. Win fairly. That is how change happens in a democracy. Replacing a working plan that you may not like with no plan or with hate and violence will only make things worse, not better. And let me say this for the avoidance of any doubt. I know many families are hurting because they have lost loved ones. I know many families are hurting because they have lost life savings and done so without reason. For the MSME sector, the sector that I speak to here, which contributes 80-85% of our jobs, we have 17 million Kenyans working in this site, in this space. We have done what we think is a plan that helps move our country to the next level. I deliberately set up the State Department for MSME. It wasn't there. And I deliberately set it up because I believe this sector holds a big potential for our country. We have aligned policy. We have decriminalized the MSME sector. We are formalizing the MSME sector. We are saying registration of the MSME sector must be made simple. It must be easy for somebody to register their business. We are working with the counties, as I said, to make it easier to have a single permit so that MSMEs can make it easier for them to be able to do business formally recognized. I have said we went out of our way to get many people who were condemned in the CRBs to exit them with a hustler fund, and we're giving them credit at 8%. They were paying 300% per year. We brought it down from 300% per year to 8% per year. We have 26 million Kenyans in that space today, enjoying credit history, enjoying credit, and transitioning them further. In fact, we are now working with the World Bank and other partners to see how in that hustler fund ecosystem, we are working on identifying at least 100,000 micro enterprises so that we can give each and every one of those 100,000 micro enterprises 50,000 grant to be able to scale up their businesses. That good man there is working on it. Okay? As part of graduating businesses from a smaller threshold to the next threshold. As I have said, we are building 400 markets nationally. Again, to provide opportunities for micro enterprises, small enterprises who do business in our markets to operate in a decent place with proper trading flows, with access to hygienic facilities, making sure that we have cold rooms, making sure that we have ICT hubs, making sure that even women who have young mothers can have a place to go and attend to their children in the market space. We are, as I said, working on common user facilities, county aggregation and industrial parks, recognizing that not every small trader has the money to buy the equipment for them to manufacture the things they want to manufacture. That is why we are consolidating, aggregating in a county aggregation and industrial park so that we can equip those parks with the necessary equipment so that our micro and small, medium enterprises can carry out their manufacturing in these facilities as they are doing in Karioko here, and be able to improve their products, be able to improve their markets, and be able to access even better markets. We are working on how to create bigger markets, access to markets. You saw the PS here for trade has said the East African Community Market, the Africa Continental Free Trade Area Market. We just concluded the European market, working on the economic partnership agreement between Kenya and 26 European countries. We concluded it last year. It came into force in June last year. We now have access to 420 million people market in Europe. We have concluded agreements with UAE. We now have a signed agreement with the UAE market. Last couple of weeks, we also agreed with the 1.4 billion people market of China. I was in China 2 months ago. I had an engagement with President Xi, and he gave me undertaking that they are going to consider Kenya, alongside other African countries, for tariff-free access to their market. Now, a few weeks ago, that was finally concluded at the FOCAC meeting, where I had sent Minister Musalia Mudavadi, and now Africa is preparing itself, and Kenya is at the front on how we are going to access that market with our products, with our tea, with our coffee, with our macadamia, with our avocados, and all the other things that we are producing here. And we do not want to send our tea or coffee to China in sacks. We want to send it in packets where we are making sure that we have added value, we are processed, and we are getting more value. In the finance bill that I signed yesterday, we have removed all taxes on packaging material for tea, coffee, and all the other export products because we want to domesticate manufacturing in Kenya. We don't want to take our products in raw form to any part of the world. This is the plan. This is the implementation we have. What I'm asking is that, because I have tried to listen to the people organizing the demonstrations, and they have said three things. They have said they love Kenya, but they hate the leaders. And they have talked something about one term. And they have said Ruto must go. Those are the things I have listened to, you know? And therefore, I want to ask them this, because if you truly love Kenya, as you say, don't burn your country. If you are telling us you truly love this nation, don't be part of the problem. Figure out how we are going to get solutions. If you hate the leaders, I want to tell you, hate brings conflict. Conflict brings violence. Violence is not a solution to unemployment, is not a solution to any of the challenges that Kenya is facing. So, if your strategy is anchored on hate for other people, for leaders, how are you going to provide a solution for our nation? If your protest and demonstration is anchored on hate for others, we must be honest, we must be candid with ourselves as a nation, because what is going on in these streets, people think it is fashionable because there, take selfies, post on social media. I want to tell you, if we continue that way, they will finish with the small enterprises in downtown. They will move. They will be in Kileleshwa. They will be in Lavington. They will be in Karen. They will be everywhere. And we shortly will not have a country. I don't know whether that is the direction we want to go. And if it's a question of terms, the Constitution already has sorted out and settled the issue of terms. Terms are limited. You can either be one term, you can be two term. Maximum. You cannot have more than that. So what is this craze about terms? The Constitution already provides for those terms. So please, let us look for the solutions of our challenges. And solutions cannot be found in terms. Solutions are found in strategy and a plan. And if it is Ruto must go, tell me how you want me to go. What? You know, I mean, let's be honest with ourselves. What do you mean? What do you mean by Ruto must go? How do I go? Because we have a constitution in place, dear people, right? Yes. If you want Ruto to go, please, my simple advice to you, look for a better plan. Convince the people of Kenya that you have a better plan. This one of mine has created 250,000 jobs in the housing sector. Look for one that creates 500,000. This one of mine, I have brought down the cost of unga from 240 to 160. Look for one that brings it to 50. Violence will not. Anarchy will not. It will not sort out our country. Let us not fool ourselves. So, let's be honest to one another. I have listened to what these people are saying. So, if you want Ruto to go, please do the honorable thing, you know. Develop a better plan than the one I have. Yes. The one that creates more jobs than the one I have. The one that brings down the cost of living than the one I have. The one that creates more opportunities for the young people of Kenya than the one that exists, you know. Do not tell us that you hate so-and-so. This one must go. That one must have this term or the other. And you have no strategy. I have said you cannot replace a plan that is working that you don't like with no plan. The only thing you have, you are armed with hate and violence. And then you want us to agree with you? Really? Please. There are very few fools in Kenya. Persuade us. If you persuade us, you know, I can also go and concentrate on farming and help in food security, you know. If you have a better plan, but don't ban the country for heaven's sake. We don't have another country. And I want to ask the leaders, religious leaders, political leaders, who are encouraging this movement towards violence and chaos and anarchy. What is your plan? So, you're telling these young people to burn the place. You're telling them to cause violence. So that what happens? So that we move to where? You know? So these are questions that we need to ask ourselves as Kenyans, you know? Because if we go this route, we will not have a country. Yes. And the country does not belong to William Ruto. The country belongs to all of us. And if there is no country for William Ruto, there is no country for you. You know? So let's really be honest with ourselves and let's be candid. What is it that we are trying to achieve? Yeah? So, finally, good people, to the MSME sector, your resilience in our nation is our nation's strength. Your success is our collective prosperity. Kenya will not be held hostage by violence. We will protect our economy, defend our democracy, and secure the livelihoods of all Kenyans. It is the responsibility that is on my shoulders now, and I want to assure this nation I will do the best that I can to protect everybody and to protect everybody's business, because it is the responsibility that I have at the moment. Until that responsibility is exercised by somebody else, I will do it. You know, so let's just be clear that we cannot continue in this manner. We have to find another way of doing business. We cannot continue this way. It is not possible. We cannot continue to have people like Kevin. You know, we had many people with jobs on 24th. On 25th, their jobs went up in flames. We had many people with businesses on 24th. Today, they are living in squalor. They don't know what to do next. You know, and there are people who are telling us, oh, you know, 25th was very successful. Really? It was successful? With people having died? With so many people hurt? With so many businesses destroyed? With many businesses up in flames? Was it successful? we are going to answer those questions as we go forward. So, good people, let me say I am very happy that I came to participate in this international celebration of MSMEs, because if there was a place for us to participate, it is in this space, because it carries 80% of our working people in the Republic of Kenya. We will continue to work with you. We will continue to build the structures to support this space, and God willing, we're going to make it better. Asanteni sana, and God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for that wonderful and reflective speech. Your Excellency, if I may request that we remain on stage. Let's take our seats, please. Allow me to invite the CS, the PS, Susan. Let's also have the two gentlemen who will be representing the hustlers. We also are going to witness the launch of the strategic plan, the MSME Development Strategic Plan. Results, we to your right. So if we can kindly have the buzzer brought to stage. If we can have the buzzer brought. As we now launch the MSME Development Strategic Plan for the year. You can see. And at the count of 3, we shall then press the buzzer, and the strategic plan is to the right. So, Your Excellency, you're welcome to just go. Let's flank him as he's there in 3, 2, 1. And let's press the buzzer, and there you go. Perhaps to get a clearer view of it, I don't know if the curtains, they don't open this way, so we may come and just see it from the bottom of the stage. It's right in there. Your Excellency, you're welcome to just come and stand from here and see it.